Welcome to the Final Fantasy Entertainment and Podcast Network Final Fan TV, baby. And you are subscribed, I hope, because we're hoping to get past the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, all you got to do is click that button. It's simple. If you're watching on Twitch live with us right now, thank you so much. You get to be part of the conversation. We're going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake mods, what we hope to see, and what's already out. As well as some really, actually pretty cool news this week. A lot of anniversaries for Final Fantasy. So let's get this thing started. I am joined with, as always, the Fire Fighter. How are you doing, Vinny?
I'm doing well. Sleep deprived, but well.
Sleep deprived, but well, out there saving the world last night. I am the warrior of hype, and my name is Daniel. So let's get this thing started. Let's check out some of these mods, Vinny. All right, let's just dive right into the mods topic for Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's fresh, it's new, it just came out Wednesday, and there's already mods. Literally the day or the night of, I would say the night of, they had the dresses out for Final Fantasy VII Remake, or at least somebody was getting it started. Nexus Mods put up a Final Fantasy VII Remake page, which I will present to you now. Let me, boom. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, that is it. Okay, here we go. So here it is. This is the page for Final Fantasy VII Remake on nexusmods.com. You can see that there's already mods out here, and you can get all the dresses from Wall Market. You can put that into the game easily, and you can have them the entire game. Dynamic resolution disabler is another big one, which is, I think it's showing the most downloaded mod. So what that does essentially is that the game is constantly trying to refresh the resolution to keep up with graphics and all this other stuff, which it's actually hurting the game. It's causing frame sputters and all this other stuff. I do believe that Square Enix will be on that. I think they're going to get a patch out hopefully soon and make it run very smooth. But for the time being, here it is, dynamic resolution disabler. You get the purple dress for Tifa, all the other dresses. Even Cloud can be in a dress the entire time. So some of these reshades, I'm personally not a big fan of. I think the game is already beautiful as it is. We're going to be talking about what we hope to see and maybe some ray tracing, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So yeah, you can see all, and then you can replace the sword. That's another big one before we jump out of this. You can replace the sword with the Masamune, the Vice's gunblade. Just so many different options. Even Zack's outfit for Cloud. That's pretty cool. I didn't see that one until now. So really cool there. There's actually 3 pages of this, so you can kind of go over here. Page 2, if it loads. Yeah, Soldier Sword, Gloveless Tifa. I'm hoping that somebody can kind of like... we're going to talk about what we hope to see. Gloveless Cloud from the massage parlor. Let's see, man. There's so many. And these, I think what they do is they actually replace the asset in the game. So when you do Masamune over Ironblade, you're replacing the Ironblade with the Masamune. Let's see what else we got. I mean, you can kind of take a look at them as we scroll here. Dirt covered Aerith throughout the entire game. What?
Some of these are so like niche.
Yeah. Like it's just really cool to see mannequin leather gloves. Putting yellow gloves on Tifa. I mean, I kind of want that though, because yellow is my color. So, no DOF, no depth of field, or that might be pretty cool. No depth of field, no blur, toggle toggle HUD. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, and then you can also go in here, because if you're playing on PC, there's no way to carry over your saves. So, from my PS4. So here's a mod that actually gives you a completed game, so you can just dive right into hard mode if that's what you want to do, rather than having to start over. Yeah, so really really cool, man. Look, a straight up pink Buster Sword, a green Iron Blade, uh, Sonen's magic stick, Sonen's magic stick.
Cloud the Sorcerer, Cloud the Dragoon.
All right, so there you go. So there's so many different mods already out, and that's nexusmods.com/Final Fantasy VII Remake. And yeah, so Vinny, what's up, man?
I just wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about what Vincent Graymore said in chat because it is uh, something that I think is impactful for the launch of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Vincent says he has opinions, but he hasn't bought it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Since I am in EU, it is around 849 SEK, 84, I think that's euros, and so almost $94 US. And that is similar to what he paid the first time that he bought the game,
Mm-hmm.
which brings me to this game has been out for what, 2 years now? Um,
Yeah. So Remake has been out for 2 years. Intergrade came
yeah,
out earlier this year, so it's about 6 months. Yeah.
right. But this game is still going like full price,
Mm-hmm.
and this is kind of like like the game's been out, Intergrade's been out, and they're still selling it for, $70 to $80
Yeah.
US, and it's got to be a big deterrent for people who have the game, have Intergrade. 'Cause, Intergrade was free, wasn't it?
Intergrade was a free upgrade if you had the PS4 version.
Mhm.
But Intermission, you still had to pay like a $20 for the DLC
Okay.
on PS4. Yeah, so I definitely get what you're saying. Like this, it is a kind of a shocking price at $70, which is a premium price rather than just $60.
Mhm.
So that was a little interesting. It does come with all of the DLC, and all of the like summons and stuff that were exclusive to pre-orders, and so it's basically the complete package deal. And I think what was like the biggest selling point is all the stuff that I just pointed out to you, like
Mhm.
mods. That's the
Right.
biggest selling
I,
point. But
it,
yeah.
yeah, so I was gonna say like the people who have played this on PS4 or have it on PS5, um, if if you're gonna spend the 70, I guess the determining factor for if you're gonna spend the $70 again is if a mod comes out that
Hmm.
is worth it to you, that is going to enhance or enrich your experience with the game.
Hmm.
Because if you're gonna get it on PC and you're not planning to do any mods with it, paying full price for this game just seems like a big hit for something that you've already done. It's like you're paying twice for the game if you're not going to be playing it with mods.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, even at this point, and I hate to say it, because I really do think Square Enix is going to be on this. They're going to improve it. But
Mhm.
at this point in time, Final Fantasy VII Remake on PC is kind of chugging. It's chugging along. Like, which you know what I got, man. You know I got the Behemoth. I call it the Behemoth. That's a 3080 in there with a Ryzen 9. And there I shouldn't have any frame drops, but there's frame drops. And like frame drops and sputters, and I was like, no way. I got genuinely upset that my computer was having a problem.
And
Thankfully,
it wasn't your
thankfully for me, it wasn't. It was the actual game is having problems right now. So
the I was watching a stream. I was watching people stream it yesterday, and they were having sound tearing issues where
mm-hmm,
like during cutscenes it would get kind of like this popcorn sound when like people would talk and when there would be explosions, kind of
mm-hmm.
like the just like corrupted files in it, and um there was the voice wasn't matching the lips, and there was just like a whole bunch of things going wrong with the game, and they put out an update for it yesterday. No,
Mm.
was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago. They put out an update for it 2 days ago. What's today? I lost my days, but they put out an update for it.
You were working all day
Um,
yesterday.
yeah, they put out an update for it,
Hmm.
and so it they do know that there are problems there, and they are actively working to fix it. I just don't think it's fixed yet, but they did put out an update about two
Okay.
days ago, which is pretty soon for in comparison to when it was launched. So
Okay, well that's good. See, like I think they're on it. They're very well aware of these issues. After launch, it probably should have been taken care of before launch, but it's interesting that it's having these issues. A lot of people make the argument a lot. Oh, the games are developed on PC, so there's no excuse of why every game can have a PC port. And it's like I think we're starting to see that maybe they're optimized. You know, they're not optimized for PC. They're developed on the PC for sure. But yeah, so it's an interesting thing. The PS5 version remains the most like definitive way for me to experience Final Fantasy VII Remake right now. I'm hoping that with updates that the PC version will have like, because right now, dude, honestly, the PC update it only has maybe 3 toggles for graphical options like like texture like shadow quality or something, and how many people you want on screen. Like you can have how many people appear on screen at one time, and the max is 10. Like you can have 10 people on screen. So if you're running through Seventh Heaven, it's basically saying that there's 10 people on screen before another one pops in pops out type thing. So I thought I think they can do a whole lot more with. I mean, if you take a look at Final Fantasy 15, this is because I'm new to PC gaming. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm new to it, but I downloaded Final Fantasy 15, and that game is 15 on PC is the definitive way to play 15. Like it is, you can run that thing at 4K. It has options for I think it might be even uncapped, or it go up to 120 frames per second. It's like Final Fantasy 15 was optimized, and like this is the way you experience Final Fantasy 15. Now, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, I think they have a lot of work to do, and I think they will hopefully take care of that. So with that being said, I can't say that I like fully recommend like, oh yeah, you have to go out and buy Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Like you said earlier, if there's a mod, like if you really want to play Final Fantasy 7 Remake with Cloud in his dress the entire time, wielding the Masamune, this is the only way you can do it. I mean, there might be some sputters and audio glitches every now and then, but you get to do it. So yeah, you have any more thoughts on that, Vinny, or?
My closing thought on that is something I've said before, and that the game developers nowadays need to pretend like they're still in the late 90s, early 2000s, back when you couldn't put out a game until it was complete.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with it, because back then they didn't have, patch updates and server maintenance and all that stuff. Well, they had server maintenance, but like patch updates, and if something was broken, they would go in and fix it. Like the game needed to be play tested to completion, and it had to work. And
Yeah, the classic saying, a delayed game is good, a bad game released at launch is bad forever. But not nowadays. Now it's like you can release a bad game and hope to keep on patching it, and people will catch on.
Right. Or or it could be like Cyberpunk, where we've been beta testing it for the last like 3 years.
Vincent says Final Fantasy 15 is one of the biggest games ever, though. I don't. Wait. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I get that. But anyways, explain, Vincent, so I can be on the same page.
Do you mean like big as in like how it's
like the biggest Final Fantasy world ever? Maybe I don't know.
Like a
the size of the Chocobo farm.
Right.
It literally is the open world of Final Fantasy 15 is the size of the Chocobo farm. That's a fun fact for you. If you're gonna go like full on mathematical nerd knowledge. Yeah.
Gigs on disc.
Gigs on. Oh, got you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's pretty big.
I'll agree to disagree, because I believe my last Call of Duty Warzone update was like 212 gigabytes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Call of
Duty Warzone is the biggest game ever, because that, for whatever reason, they'll add like 4 new guns, and I have an 80 gigabyte
that's
download.
That's an 80 gigabyte download for those 4 new guns. Yeah, so
one, not the the biggest game goes to Call of Duty Warzone, because for whatever reason you need your own. It needs its own Xbox
Yeah,
to be able
get
to
your own
hold
hard
all of
drive for
its.
that.
Yeah,
But
crazy.
yeah, so I want to talk about the mods that we want to see, right, Vinny? Because like I have this whole entire like document of mods that I want to see in Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I would like to share that with you, Vinny, and for those watching, please, man, like join the conversation. Tell us what you want, and we'll talk about it right here on the podcast. For me, I'm gonna start off. You want to go like back and forth, Vinny, or do you just gonna kind of want me to tell you what I got and then you can respond to it? How you want to do it?
Oh, we can go back and forth. Well,
Okay.
what, like me read off your list too?
No, no, you do your thing, man. I'll let you know if it
All
was
right.
on my list.
Okay, yeah, cause I don't know what's on your list,
Okay,
so.
okay. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Maybe you'll say something that's on my list.
Mhm.
But number one, all right. So number one may be like one of my biggest complaints about the Final Fantasy VII remake, right? I just want some blood in my blood trails, Vinny. I just
Mm,
want blood in my blood trails. So
I
in the
agree.
in the original, man, the scene was terrifying. It was freaking like when I first played that scene with that freaking music, right, and like that
Hmm.
continuously played even if you enter like battles and in and out of battles, the blood strewn across floors and walls, like the deep scratch marks and
Hmm.
like carved into the buildings and stuff as you ascended the floors. That was one of like the most memorable. It was up there as one of the most memorable scenes in Final Fantasy VII. Like I don't know if anybody can argue that. Like if you guys, when you guys think of Final Fantasy VII, I'm sure there's a few scenes that you think of, and for me, this has got to be top five, like blood trails. Um,
Hmm.
and in remake, it was not there. It was the purple ooze. I get it. That was Genova's blood or whatever it is. And if you want to keep the purple ooze, that is fine by me. But I want to see. Go. You could even go rated M with this if you wanted to, man. I want to see blood on the walls. I want to see bodies of Shinra employees, just
Hmm.
kind of like just dead bodies across the or you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, man. Blood,
Yeah.
recreate the scene the way it was. Claw marks on the walls and all. Yep, exactly, Vincent. So that's one of my it's one of those mods that I really want, and I don't know anything about modding. I was hoping to get somebody on the show that would be a little more knowledgeable in this area, but is that possible? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's possible, please, you know?
Hmm.
What about you, Vinny?
Um, I agree. Making that scene as impactful as it was back in 1997 is definitely uh up there on the list of like mods I want to see
Mm-hmm.
because like experiencing that for the first time, the game had been uh very JRPG like up until that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then that moment, like you said, with the music, and then everything's dark, there's people dead, there's claw marks on the wall that you can tell that wasn't made by a sword, and there's just like blood trails and stuff, and it just got very like I want to say like Silent Hill-esque of just like horrific mystery, like what's happening. These claw marks were made by some like terrifying monster,
Mm-hmm.
um and you're just kind of like going through the Shinra building kind of like on edge, like, and when am I going to run into whatever did this to these people. It was just very it was like a change of pace. It was like a completely different genre at that point. It was like a survival horror for that one moment,
Mm-hmm.
and it set itself up so nice, and just being able to like recapture that in remake would be, I think, awesome. I
Yeah.
think that would be great.
God, 100%, man. Like, just it just made you fear the villains.
Hmm.
It like the villains of that story became so much more feared. And then, of course, right after that, you see the Midgar Zalem on a spike, and you're just like, oh my god, like.
Hmm.
So what about you, man? We got another one. You got another one for us?
So you know me, I want something similar to like a new threat mod.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
Difficulty. like a different difficulty,
Hmm.
or just like, changing where you find items, throwing off, one of the things that makes games easier is knowing what to expect. So when a game goes in and changes where items are located, or what weapons you get at what point, or, the way you obtain certain materia, um, can change the difficulty of a game, and it also keeps it fresh because you don't know what to expect. And that's one of the best things about your first playthrough. So it's almost as if like you're getting your first playthrough again. Like with New Threat, it was like a completely different game. Enemy formations were different. Enemies showed up in different spots. Enemies were more difficult. It felt more like Dungeons and Dragons type difficulty, where it wasn't just you run in like, oh, I can destroy these enemies. Like every enemy was a threat,
Yeah.
and it felt more realistic, more like a survival mode or a realistic mode where it's, you know, um like in real life, like if Final Fantasy were to happen in real life and we had our same skill sets,
Uh-huh.
we just knew how to use swords. It's like I'm not gonna want to run at every single monster because every single monster has the potential to kill me, and that's the type of difficulty I want from Remake.
So what you're saying, I mean, it has the dodge roll, it has the block, the parry. What you're saying is you want Soulsborne.
Yeah, I want a Dark Souls mod. I
Dark
want
Souls
a Dark
mod.
Souls mod.
I actually have something similar on my list. I called it the Soldier First Class mode.
Okay.
And then there's two sides of this coin. The that side of the coin would be exactly what you said, right? Make it extremely difficult. Make it you have to rely on dodge rolls. Make you have to rely on parries and blocks. But on the flip side of that coin, I kind of want not a super. It's like you would think this is going to be a super easy mode, right?
Hmm.
On the flip side of that coin, I would love the Soldier First Class mode to make me feel like Soldier First Class, right? So like
Hmm.
fighting Shinra troopers or Shinra officers or whatever, I should cut them down in one slice. You know what I mean? Like boom,
Uh,
dead. Right? I
so
want
like
to
Dynasty Warriors,
yeah, just go
you're
through
just
and like freaking
destroying people.
just running through and literally destroying in and out of battles at first, and then maybe when you get to the freaking Scorpion Sentinel, maybe they can attack more like more frequently and makes a that's how the difficulty balances out. Like there's faster attacks times, refreshes and stuff like that. Um, but their HP bars are still going to be chipped
Mm-hmm.
away at really fast because you're a freaking soldier. You know, like you're a badass. And it would make you feel like you're running through the game. You know what I mean? Like I just and then
Hmm.
maybe if you get paired up against once you get to like Sephiroth, then all of a sudden he's blocking everything that you're throwing at him, or you know what I mean? Like just kind of like it's
Hmm.
just kind of balance that out. I would think that would
Hmm.
be awesome just to run through a bunch of human if it's a human type enemy, they're dead, right?
Hmm.
Like if I'm fighting against Corneo's thugs, or Corneo's goons or whatever, like I can just plow through the like just go through and just destroy triple slash.
Hmm.
They're dead. I thought that would be kind of cool. So I also another mod to throw out there for you. I'd like to see man. So okay, so this is probably my most requested, and this is probably one of the biggest undertakings. Besides, you said a new threat. Obviously, that's a huge undertaking too. Like something like along that where you literally have to almost rewrite the game. For this one, I don't know if it's necessarily rewriting the game, whereas you're deleting some things or making allowing you to skip through things. Now, don't get me wrong, I love remake for how it is. But there's a lot of people out there that just wanted a faithful telling of the original story. I'm wondering, and I kind of like went through it in my head of how things could happen to make a mod that makes Final Fantasy VII Remake actually only like a couple hours, right? Because you have removed all of the bonus stuff. So like, there's no cutscene with Sephiroth in Chapter 2. That you cut out the whole like President Shinra telling the ordering the bots to blow up the reactor even more and stuff like that. Like you take out cutscenes, you take out even like full chapters. Like you're taking out the whole visiting Jesse's house. Don't get me wrong, I love that bonus chapter, but you're taking all of the stuff out that wasn't in the original, and basically the game will end at the end of the expressway chase against Motorball. And that's it, right? Like, so you're basically giving people the opportunity to play Remake with the gameplay and everything of Remake, but it's as true as possible to the original story. No whispers, Vinny.
No
so
fake ghosts.
so I wonder if they can do that, right? Like, and oh man, I don't know. I would love to see that as a mod.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, so if you think about it, um, I mean, so mods are mods.
Mm-hmm.
Mods aren't canon. So, I mean, nobody should have a problem with that mod coming out
No,
because
no, no, sure not.
it's
No.
like it's not if you love Final Fantasy VII Remake for everything it is, I mean, then you don't have to play that mod. But for people who do want that mod, like the mod could be available. It doesn't change. The only game it changes for is the person who plays the mod, and it's just
Yeah, yeah. I
it's a
mean,
mod. It's meant to enrich your experience.
for sure,
So
for sure.
I don't see a problem with that. And if you take out all those extra chapters, all those extra cutscenes, and the game might be 5 hours long, but if you think about it, if you play through Midgar in Final Fantasy VII Original, without grinding, you just kind of get through Midgar the way it was meant to be, just kind of played through.
Yeah,
Midgar's about 5 hours,
it's about 5
so
hours.
it's
So you
it
get,
seems like it
yeah.
would line up, you
That
know.
would be really cool, man. And especially, well, I mean, I don't know how crazy things are going to get. I'm sure it's going to get super crazy in part two and stuff. But like, at least with this, um, you get the opportunity. I don't know. You just have this opportunity. I think it would be a really cool opportunity to play Final Fantasy VII Remake in the traditional storyline. I know things like
Mhm.
Vincent's saying right now that there would be, maybe there'd be like little janky transitions and stuff like that with the church, the platefall, and everything. I was kind of thinking that too, like things where like Cloud visions the future and all this other stuff. It's like, or remembers the future. Uh, so there's things like that that might kind of throw off the like continuity would have a lot of issues. But it's a mod and it might be kind of cool to see.
Mhm.
So Vinny, your turn.
So my next one was actually it's very similar to what Vincent Graymore would like to see. So Vincent Graymore wants to see Zack versus 1,000 soldiers mission,
Oh, nice.
and so mine is very similar to that in where one of my other most favorite game franchises is Dynasty Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Just something about being one warrior going up against 1,000 other warriors, and you're just this overpowered KOing machine because you don't kill people in Dynasty Warriors. It's all KO. But um so like if somebody was able to take the game model, right,
Mm-hmm.
and take like maybe the largest open area in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then you just have Cloud with the Buster Sword, who's always in battle mode,
Mm.
and there's just hundreds and hundreds of Shinra soldiers.
I got it. I got you.
Mhm.
I got you. You said the largest open area, whatever. It made me think. I was like, dude, let's do it. Fun with combat sim, or the
Mhm.
combat simulator.
Yeah.
So if you could throw like 100 like Cloud versus like how when you're choosing the combat simulator thing and the Shinra thing, it could be like Cloud versus 100 or Cloud versus 100
Right. Like
1v100, and then and then they just keep constantly being on the like respawning.
yeah, and it's like level 99 Cloud versus like 100 level 10 Shinra soldiers, and you're just
That's
running
cool.
through and just
Or they just
hacking,
progressively get more
or
level.
they progressively get harder.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
tight, dude. I
and
love
and
that. I love that.
every like 25 kills, you get a general, which would be like a harder enemy to fight
Ooh,
while
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
fighting.
God, I would. You know what?
Like
I would love that
like
with co-op,
like
like a co-op. But there's no way you can
and
mod a co-op in. But yeah.
I mean, people modded co-op into Skyrim and Fallout before it was, Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout
That would be
76.
amazing. God. But
So like,
yeah.
and like every 25 kills a general spawns, and the general can be Vice or Nero or Sephiroth being like the
Damn.
last general you fight at the end, and
Hmm.
just like
Dude.
a mode like that, like a hack and slash mode, or Vincent said Musou mode, where it's you're just going in there and just having fun. Like
Hmm.
so let's say you play Final Fantasy VII remake, but you have like maybe 30 minutes, so you're not gonna get through
Yeah.
too much. Just jump into
Or
that
you
mode, have some fun, and then dip out.
or you've already beat the game 100 times like us, and it's just kind of like,
Right.
"Ooh, I want to do something." Dude, I'm going to build off of that because I have my own thing. It said fun with combat sim. Was a
Oh, hey,
mod.
Bear Boy.
Bear
Bear Boy's in
Boy.
chat.
Nice. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. I know they were testing co-op with Kingdom Hearts 3. Good God. Don't 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 you give me hope. Don't give me hope. So that would be amazing. All right, so fun with combat sim, co-op if it's like shooting for the stars here.
See,
But
I like in order to have co-op, I guess. So I don't understand the technical aspect of servers and creating co-op and stuff like that. Now I could be completely wrong about this, but I know like there are some games where they do dedicated servers. Obviously, the mod wouldn't be able to do a dedicated server because
right.
that would just be very intensive, and you'd have to pay a lot of money for that mod for them to keep that server going.
Hmm.
So they do what is it, peer-to-peer servers, and I think that might be what Skyrim did, like a peer-to-peer server, so you can do Skyrim
Peer to peer.
co-op.
A co-op would still be fun. I would still love it if it was just one or two, maybe three people.
Mhm.
But yeah, peer to peer. So okay, so that's dreaming big. I think that's dreaming big. Oh, I still have it on energetic mode back there.
Getting hype about co-op.
Whoa, baby, let's go. So yeah, that would be fun. Now, hear me out for this other thing, right? So you had the idea of a beautiful 1v100 cloud versus 100. Just keep going. What about if somebody could mod a two-party system, so you have full parties of 6, right? In the combat sim versus, I don't know, a trio of like freaking Nero, Vice, and Sephiroth, and you have it's full party of 6 versus those three. And then like maybe they mod a way to change parties. You know how like you can change characters with L2 R2, but maybe
Mhm.
they just kind of like mod one of them buttons to switch parties. Like you just switch over to a different party. That's insane thinking. That's crazy
Mhm.
thinking, of course. But I would love like full parties of 6 because then you could have Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa, and then in another party, Yuffie, Red 13, and Aerith or something.
Or
That would
Yuffie
be
Red
insane.
13 and Sonnen.
I was gonna say Sonnen, but there was no gameplay code for Sonnen. Now, where it gets
Right.
the reason
There
why I
was no
said Red.
gameplay code for Red either. So
No, no,
that
no,
that,
no.
that would.
No. The reason why I did say Red actually was because there was
Oh, okay.
somebody modded on the PS4, so I feel like this mod is going to be very coming out very soon. Like I feel like it's going to come
Oh,
out
like
very
a
soon.
playable Red 13.
Red 13 was playable. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to bring it up on YouTube so I can like show you guys. So Red 13 was actually playable. He had attacks. He had battle dialogue. You couldn't change his equipment or anything like that. But he's like playable. So I
Mhm.
can show that video real quick. In my Streamlabs, let me go to, I believe it's this one here. Yeah. So I'll show you Red 13. This is coming from Zane0216. But yeah, like you're running around as Red right now, and this was back in April 28th, 2020. So he's actually able to run around. You can get in fights. Of course, if you entered a cutscene, Yeah, here you go. If you entered a cutscene, red would actually go away, but there he is down here. It even says red 13. And this is no additional mods, I don't think. This is just unlocking something within the code. And then, just, he's playable. So that had me thinking, like, dude.
That's got to be coming soon then.
That's got to be coming soon. So the reason why I said, man, if you can have Red 13 playable in a party. Now that brings me to my other mod that I really want to see. I think it's going to be coming soon, Red 13. But the modders would actually have to have a way to equip Red. And I don't know how necessarily they would do it. But
you don't necessarily have to equip Red with stuff. They could just mess with his modifiers and just give him,
he has what he has and you can't touch it.
Well, he has what he has, or you go in and they just change the modifiers on the stat formula so that his stats are increased as if he was equipped with, his endgame gear.
Okay. So, yes. So basically to wrap up this suggestion that we had of combat simulator, basically, is we can put it all under this category. The 1v100, the possibility of co-op, the sky high possibility of co-op, the sky high possibility of parties of 6 split between 3 or 2 parties of 3, and then Red 13 coming in. But also I would love if the combat sim allowed you to add Yuffie into the party. So so like being able to play with Yuffie in a party with Cloud, Tifa, Barret, Aerith, and you can throw Yuffie in there, you get a glimpse at what, you know what I mean? Like a glimpse of what part 2 could be like. So that would be really cool. So last thing would be custom challenges. I don't know if that would be possible to allow you to go through the enemy intel and just kind of select, I want to go against the freaking Scorpion and the Airbuster at the same time. You know what I mean? Like that would be really cool. But
so, one more thing to go along with your combat sim, because it's one of my absolute favorite things to watch on YouTube, is when people take Dark Souls bosses and they make the Dark Souls bosses fight each other.
Oh.
I want to see like you make like
Crab
Nero
Warden versus Scorpion Sentinel.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you got Nero and Vice versus just Sephiroth, and like
please let that happen so that way we can do like commentary. We can shoutcast it. We can shoutcast it. We can shoutcast the battle.
Right, like it'll be our segment. We just narrate Final Fantasy boss fights. One of the things I love about watching the Dark Souls bosses fight each other is when their AI gets screwed up, and because their AI gets screwed up when they fight you, but when they're fighting other bosses, it's funny when their AI screws up, and you'll see like this boss going in for like a hit, and then like he just like turns his back to him and then like starts kneeling down to heal, and then the other one's just kind of like standing there looking at him like waiting for him to heal. It's like they do so many dorky things.
Yeah, that's great.
Because they're AI, and it's just seeing like Sephiroth stand in like Weiss's face trying to use like cure, and Weiss is just like in his face letting him cure, like just like funny things.
It would
like
be
that.
hilarious, dude. We would have so much fun with the shoutcasting on that. That is hilarious. All right, so all right, so I want to cover some more of these mods. So let's see what we got here. One big thing for me, it's an improvement mod. Photo mode mod would be really cool, because the photo mode is exactly the same in Intergrade, which means that you're not able to like zoom in as close as you would want for close-ups, because they disappear when the camera get close in photo modes. Now, Final Fantasy 15 utilized NVIDIA's Ansel photo mode, which was really cool, because then you could take the camera and literally almost boundary break and go wherever you wanted with the camera. I was really hoping that Remake would have that on PC. It doesn't. You can still go into Ansel, NVIDIA Ansel, but only thing you're able to do is just take the screenshot. And you can add filters through Ansel, which is cool. It adds additional filters to what Intergrade gives you. You know me, man. I'm big into the photo mode. I love the
Oh
photo
yeah.
mode. So yeah, having being able to improve the photo mode would be a great mod. You got another one for me,
hmm
Benny?
Yeah, we have a chat mod.
Okay.
Um, Heya Nobody says that they want a polygon mods like the 98 mod in Resident
Yes,
Evil 2
dude.
Remake.
Yes. Yes, that would be
Absolutely.
awesome. Anybody. Hey, anybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. But yeah, that would be
Oh,
amazing. Can you
yeah,
imagine
I read that name wrong. I
what
said
you?
Heya Nobody,
Oh
and you said
yeah. Hey, anybody.
anybody.
He's like, hey, a
I was
nobody. Hey, a
like,
nobody. Like,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, okay, I read it wrong too. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us.
Um,
You know what's great about that is I kind of mentioned that in my outfits section of my notes. I would love to see a polygon. That would be so freaking cool. I think I
mhm.
would do it if only just to play for it for like a little while before realizing that it just is super jarring unless they mod every single model in the game, which would just be huge. Um, like every single character in the game is polygon. That would be crazy. But if it was only just the main party, then I'd be like, I don't know. Like I don't know how I feel about it. But it would still be really cool. It would still be so cool. Hey and
um,
nobody. Sorry about. I mean, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Hey and nobody.
um,
I like. Is it
so,
Kingdom Hearts reference there? But go go ahead, Benny.
um, so one of uh one of the mods that because I also like I love challenging mods and everything like that. Um, but I also like mods that just like when it's like 3 in the morning, you've been awake for like 26 hours, and you're in that like delirium state where just like the stupidest things are hysterical.
Yeah, yeah.
It's those moments where I'm like, I want to boot up a mod. I want to boot up Final Fantasy VII Remake and just have like, everybody, every NPC is replaced with Barrett in a sailor suit. Like you're just like running around Midgar, and every person you talk to is just Barrett in a sailor suit.
Sunamods did everything as Barrett. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Sunamods themselves, but you can get it off the Seventh Heaven for the original Final Fantasy VII, and every
hmm
every single character is Barrett. Like,
hmm
but that
Right,
would
like
be hilarious, man. Yeah.
but also like, so we see a lot in other game mods where it's like, you know, play Sekiro as Cloud, or play Resident Evil 3 remake with the Tifa costume.
Yeah.
Well, now that 7 Remake is out on PC, we could start seeing mods where, you can play Final Fantasy 7 as, Link. Like instead of Cloud, Link's your main character, or, the Ashen one from Dark Souls is your main character and stuff. It'd be fun to see,
It'd be
you
awesome. You have
know,
a crossover type thing going on.
right, right.
Yeah. Even I don't know, taking character models from, or I guess you have to take character models from a game, or I'm not sure how it works, or you basically have to create the character model. But I would
Mhm.
love to see Squall outfit, like Squall's like jacket and everything. Oh my God, it's Shrek! Shrek returns. How come Shrek always returns around Christmas time? This is great.
Is that Shrek?
Is that Shrek?
Is that Shrek?
It's funny because it's an inside joke if you haven't been here for a while with Final Fantasy TV. Last year we did a Secret Santa thing, and I had a picture of all Final Fantasy characters sitting at a dinner table, and then I snuck in a little tiny Shrek picture. And like it took like half the show before somebody realized, or it was Vinny, right? It was you.
Yeah. And
Is
I
that
went,
Shrek?
I was like, you were like mid-sentence, but I was like, is that Shrek? And you were like, yep, somebody found it.
Yeah, Shrek as Sephiroth. Sure.
That was last year's
Shrekaroth.
holiday episode.
Shrekaroth. That's amazing. Oh my God. Donkey! Oh man. If they could just get like Shrek's voice in there.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, so there, yeah, we're calling upon those modders for that.
Oh man, I would love Hank Hill with a Buster
Oh
Sword.
my
Just
God. Part 2 mod makes Sid Hank Hill.
God dang it, Sephiroth.
God dang it.
God dang it, Sephiroth. Quick, somebody use fire.
I feel like
I'm gonna use propane.
I'm gonna use.
I'm a propane dancer.
Another quality of life mod would be to section out certain chapters. This is a quick one. To section out certain chapters for the chapter select. So like say for the two most not aggravating, but like the two most inconvenient chapters in the game is definitely chapter 9. Right, so when you're going to going to Wall Market, but you have to go through the collapsed expressway to get there. One improvement that I was hoping Square Enix would make eventually, but go to the mods for this one, just be able to do like chapter 9A, chapter 9B. So like you can jump right to Wall Market if you want to. I feel like that would be a tremendous help to those trying to get the Platinum Trophy. And I don't think it would be cheating. Like it's just you're able to go straight to Wall Market, like so you can start that dress storylines because there's 3 different ways you can get the dress. So that would be, I think that would be really cool. And then also I think like chapter 17 where you want to go to the battle simulator or the combat simulator. But you have to go through the entire building before you can get to the Shinra Combat Sim. Or I guess, is it chapter 18 when you have to go through Hojo's lab? But still, you have to do something before you get to the Combat Sim. I would love to see chapter selects get sectioned out. And also, while you're on it, maybe just put Combat Sim as an option right from the home screen. That'd be cool.
Yeah. One mod that I've heard people talk about is I've heard it called this by somebody in Discord, but they said they wanted a Avalanche mod where you play as Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge. And I was thinking about it. I was like, that could definitely be doable because I feel like you would take like Biggs' character model, put it over Cloud, and then Biggs would be the warrior. You take Jesse's character model, put it over Tifa, she's the monk, and then you take Wedge's character model, put it over Barrett, and then change the gun arm to like a machine gun, like just one of the Shinra machine guns or whatever, and then you can have those 3 as your playable characters as like an Avalanche mod where our main protagonists are Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge.
That would actually be pretty cool. I wonder if I could make that work. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of one of those mods that I feel like could be possible. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just a kind of I don't know. Maybe I'm
just like a reskin. It's
yeah,
just kind of
right.
Like
we're just sitting here. We're talking.
Characters.
We don't have any experience with
yeah.
mods. Somebody who mods is like, yeah, you think it's just a reskin? Cool. Yeah.
It's like, all right, then go ahead, go do it.
Why don't you go do that?
Just a reskin. Go ahead, go do it. Yeah, I'm sure it's more difficult than just saying like, oh yeah, just reskin them.
I mean, we've seen like them basically reskin swords and weapons, basically just putting a whole entire different weapon on the back that they're taking assets from the game. It's like use a freaking lead pipe as the Buster Sword now, like.
Right. I mean, my small brain can't comprehend what people literally have to do to open up these codes and change the game. I literally can't comprehend that. So the people who can do that, I give you a whole bunch of credit, and I'm sorry if it's insulting if I say like, oh, it's just a reskin.
And if you're watching this and you're a modder and you're just trying to look for some inspiration on what to do next, and you're watching this, let us know if some of these things are just really dumb and way far-fetched. Or if like, hey, that's doable. I can't personally do it, but I mean, it's doable. Let us know that, and definitely let us know if you're doing it. And then you can be on the show and show us. Premiere it.
And we'll beta test it. Yeah,
we'll beta test it. We will premiere it right here on Final Fantasy TV. So yeah, that'd be really cool. If you're a modder and you know stuff about this certain aspect of gaming, please chime in. Now, also please chime in on this one particular question. And we don't need to talk about it too much because it's basically just a question. I have no idea. Is ray tracing possible in this game? Like I've seen a lot of people want ray tracing as a mod to improve to just kind of improve reflections and stuff like that. I know little about game development, not a lot. And I don't know if it's possible to just kind of like, it's not like flip a switch and like there you go, because I feel like the game developers would have done that if it was that easy. So please answer that question. Do you think ray tracing is even possible? That would also kind of quell some of the questions from or wants and hopes and dreams of some players who are hoping for ray tracing mod. So Jack Holiday, hey guys, I saw a tweet that says the PC version Square currently selling on EGS is actually a debug version of the game. This might explain why this version, oh, okay, it has the PS4 opening CG instead of the PS5 version. Interesting. So Jack Holiday actually pointed out to us that the PC version is back to the PS4 opening sequence, and by that it means like the lyrics and stuff like that of One Winged Angel that people were kind of dissecting and all this other stuff. So that's cool. So maybe if it's a debug version of that game, maybe that's why it's having some issues at launch. So maybe Square will patch it up in the coming weeks. I think it's going to be patched up pretty soon. So yeah, so thanks so much for dropping by and giving us that information, Jack. I was kind of wondering about that. That's cool. Especially if they're trying to keep that like that mystery of the PS4 having a slightly different opening than the PS5 opening, and it's just like, okay, what are you trying to do here? What's going on? Is this another retelling? What's going on?
Right, it's like that meme I read like a year ago where I thought, like, I love when memes have amazing ideas because I know it's made in jest, but it's like the meme was like, so write a story and you write a book, but you write like 4 different endings and you don't tell anybody, and you just like you write 4 different books and all 4 books have like different endings, and you put it out, and then people start like speculating. They're like, wait, that's not what I read. And then like they're just like, wait, what's going? It's like
sparks
you
conversation. Yeah.
Right, you put out different versions of the game with like different endings, and people are like, I didn't experience that.
And then like maybe you unlock the other versions or something when you beat it,
right?
Or I don't know, like, but that's awesome idea. Like, so remember when the Spider-Man trailer came out and like the Brazil,
please no.
Please no. Yeah, not with Final Fantasy, but like when the Spider-Man trailer came out and the Brazil version had something different, and then but every other trailer was exactly the same, and the Brazil trailer had one little accidental slip up, and it's just like it's just kind of like, wait, that's not what I watched, and then like it just sparks this conversation. They did that with the movie Clue when it released in theaters. What?
Did they really?
What? I did not know that.
Did they play like
different
versions of the movie to where every time you watched the movie it had a different ending? Because when I saw do you know what Dark Mirror is, Daniel?
Yeah, isn't that with like a select your adventure type thing? Like you get to choose.
Well, so Dark Mirror is kind of like our generation's like Twilight Zone. Each episode is different, and it's just kind of like this fun sci-fi, psychological twist to it. And then Dark Mirror released a Netflix exclusive movie called Bandersnatch, which is a like at certain points in the movie you get to choose what the protagonist says or does, and that affects the way the movie plays and everything. And I thought that was so cool.
It's really cool, man. It's like a choose your adventure book, like you skip to page 24 or something like that.
Right. And they need to do more of that, because there are so many times where I'm like, there are times where I watch a movie and I'm like, okay, I don't remember this, and it gives me this like Mandela effect where I'm like, is this a different version of the movie that I used to watch? But I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent.
I was like, we're going off. We're going off.
Yeah, we're going off on a tangent.
No, that's okay though. I love those kind of things. All of a sudden, I want to watch Clue now, though. Hey, anybody? I kind of. Hey, nobody.
I wonder how many versions there are.
I want to get that right. I want to watch Clue actually. All of a sudden. Speaking of, well, we talked about the original Final Fantasy and how mods could make Final Fantasy VII Remake a little more closer to the original. What about a traditional camera. Like, I know now, I get it. When game development, sometimes things are hidden behind objects, or like nothing is hidden behind, like nothingness is hidden behind objects. So if you break that camera, you start to get like literally a blank area. But it'd be kind of cool to go to that like top down view from the original as you're exploring areas, and then when you get into a fight, maybe the camera just like swoops back down behind, and then you get into your battle, and then when you're out of battle, it just jumps back up and you go into the top down camera. I think that would be kind of cool, right? Speaking of boundary breaks, I cannot wait to see the boundary break from Sheezus, the YouTuber, which does the Boundary Break series. Now that Final Fantasy is on PC, Final Fantasy 7 Remake on PC, I can't wait for that episode.
So Philip actually said that in a Discord. He said that he would like to see a mod where it's the fixed camera angles.
Oh, wow, cool. What's up?
From
good job, Philip. Good job.
From original.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even think about that until you guys had said it, and I was like, that'd be cool.
Right.
It would give me that like nostalgic feel in the remake.
Even if it like the camera pans up and you can see the obvious, like this cliff just turns into a sharp drop off and it's just black. Even if it's that way, honestly, I don't mind. It kind of gives it gives you that original vibes anyway, like where you walked into a house and then there's still black space. You know what I mean? So I think that would be really cool to have that traditional camera angle. Actual turn-based combat would be interesting. I thought about this, like where you enter a battle and then all of a sudden all of the enemies line up in a row in front of you, and all of your party lines up in a row in front of them, and you literally just speed up the ATB bars and you can only use ATB attacks or something. That'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting mod. I thought about it and I was like, I don't know if it would work, but it could work, and if it does, that's epic. Traditional turn-based combat would be really cool.
I think again, this is off topic just a slight bit.
Okay.
But I was just thinking about it, popped up into my head, and I want to speak it into existence now.
Okay.
But a For Honor mod where you replace the people in For Honor with Final Fantasy characters, and you just have like a For Honor, like a really in-depth like 1v1, fight between Final Fantasy characters. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, we can continue.
No. I like the idea of, now that Final Fantasy 7 Remake and all the assets or whatever are on the PC, bringing them over to other games it's just really cool. Really cool to think that. I know that somebody put like Remake Cloud in Final Fantasy 15, which was cool. So crossovers and stuff like that would be really cool. OG sound effects mod. Oh, OG error sound effect mod. Yeah, Samuel, that's a cool. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah. OG sound effects in all together would be really cool. I'd love that.
I don't need a mod for that. I just do it myself.
I'm trying to I can hear the sound effect in my head for like when you're selecting things, like, but I can't get it out like audible, like sweep, no, squip, squip, squip. I
like,
can't get it. I can't
when you save the game. Is it weird that when I'm scrolling through my text messages on my phone, I'm like, tweet, tweet,
squip,
tweet,
squip,
tweet,
squip, squip. Tweet,
doing my.
Oh god, yeah, that would be great.
Like, spam is calling.
Replace even the attacks with sound original, like.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm getting a phone call from a number I don't know. Pick it up. Awesome. Hey, we're calling about your car's extended warranty.
Oh my god, dude. And it's like when you use your limit breaker, like whoosh.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man, yes, please. An original Final Fantasy 7 sound effects mod would be fantastic. Good idea, Samuel. Good idea. Awesome. So then another one, quick, easy mod. Easy. You know what I mean? As a person who is super inexperienced with this stuff, super easy mod. Change the magic spells to Fire 2 and Fire 3. That's right. so I can finally. It's no longer the question is no longer in debate. Is it Firaga fighter? Is it Firaga fighter? Is it Faraga fighter? No, it is Fire 3 fighter. Fire. Now
Fodder.
I can't even get fighter
Now I'm
right.
fodder.
Fodder.
Right?
Fire 3 fodder. I can't even get
Fodder.
fighter right. Now it's Fire 3 fighter. You know what I mean? Just let's replace the magic spells with the numbers. Why not? This is just another way to like little tiny things to bring remake closer to the original. Now here's another one for me for you, Vinny. This one's important. Thank you, Mortis, for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you. We really appreciate that. So here's another one, man. I want that the weapons for Yuffie do not disappear, and Aerith, but for Yuffie in particular, I don't want the weapon to just disappear. All right? If we can mod that to where the Yuffie's weapon stays attached to what looks like an obvious magnet like Cloud has on his back for the weapon to stay on, I would love that. You know what I mean? Just like where she's running around in the environment and her weapon is always attached to her arm. Never disappears. I would love that. And Aerith, she like takes her. I'm cool with a collapsible rod. I think that's kind of cool. But then the rod just goes away. Like she just shoves it into her. Like I wouldn't say she shoves it into her dress, but she doesn't even shove it into her dress. Like it just goes away. So I don't know how you would get that to work. Maybe like just have it kind of attached to her side or something. But those were kind of things that bothered me a little bit, where the weapons disappeared. They just put them in their pockets, magic pocket style. Yeah, obviously. Duh. God, what am I doing? Disregard. But I would love that. So let me see, man. One more time going through. I think we spoke a little bit about a rated M mod would be cool. Now you can't really change the beautiful, like the masterful voice acting of the characters. You can't change that. So Barrett just doesn't use the F word. That's just how it is. But I think it would be cool if they made a rated M mod that added the blood to the blood trails. So this is kind of in addition to that first one I talked about.
Well, although,
yeah,
John Eric Bentley does do cameos, so
yeah,
probably could get John Eric Bentley to just like.
Could you just throw some F-bombs in here real quick so I can insert them?
Can you just say a bunch of curse words
So
a bunch of different ways, please?
So we can really tell the people how you feel about that pizza in the sky, because because it didn't really convey, but no, so don't mess with their voice acting or anything like that. But what about adding voice acting mods? We're calling on you guys to add for NPCs. All right, so maybe during the bombing in chapter 2, when you're walking around and you got the whole entire crowd, maybe just throw in some crowds to really add to that ambiance, that feel, that what just happened. Just throw some people in there that are some voices in there that are pretty upset about it. You know what I mean? Like listen, or in pain, really expressing it through rated M language. That'd be interesting. And then also during the pillar attack or during platefall and all this other stuff, I feel like you can opportunity to add language, not for the sake of just adding language to the game, but for those moments it would make sense to add onto a rated M mod. And then of course the blood trails. What about blood effects? If you're going to do rated M, let's go the whole distance. Blood effects for when you're chopping at human enemies. That'd be interesting. So there's just or you know what, Benny, let's just have them. I would like to have the bodies stick around, because now I'm not a lore master here, but I'm pretty sure that humans don't turn into the live stream right away, right? Or at least they that wasn't a thing. Or I don't know, man, because there was bodies, the Shinra bodies in the blood trails. If that was the case, they would have already been gone. So I don't know how.
It's more of a decomposition thing.
As
you decompose, you go into the live stream.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works. I feel like you had to be really high in Mako levels for that to happen. But maybe somebody in chat can help. That's not what I want to talk about. But I just like to see bodies remain on the floor. So if you killed some Shinra officers, just let them remain on the floor. like they're gonna die. They're dead. They stay there for a
Hmm.
while, right? So like when you rack up your body count with that 1v100, dude,
Hmm.
bodies everywhere.
I, I think them disappearing is more of a like uh tax on your graphics card because
Yeah, well, I mean, hey,
keeping
let's go. My baby can handle it.
right.
Yes.
Right. You just have a pile of 100 dead Shinra soldiers just like
Yeah.
still there.
You know what, Vinny? Let's just solve the debate right now. Let's have them turn holographic red and shake and disappear.
Yeah,
And then
there you
go,
go. Yeah, because
just,
we'd be in the combat sim.
just have
Um,
them disappear like they did in the original.
I I remember this one mod for a game. I can't because I watched it on YouTube. Um, it was it was a mod where the main character, all of their voice lines were just changed to what? And so it would be like a Clueless Cloud mod where like everything runs the same except every time Cloud responds, it's what?
We can get
So he's just
we
Clueless
can
Cloud.
Get Crane to come in here and just go what? For
What?
voice cloud with Crane and just all he says is what?
Clueless Cloud.
Clueless Cloud.
What?
Yes. It's like or just have, oh my god, just take the line from Stranger of Paradise and just literally after everything somebody says, Cloud just goes bullshit and just walk away. That's it.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Um, it
So
would be it would be cool to see other characters doing some of the mini games too, like the squats and the chin
oh
ups.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just see Barrett doing like one arm chin ups.
Yeah, that would oh my god, dude, that would be pretty cool. And then I kind of want to talk about going to the plate. All right, we're getting close to the end of all the mods that we want to see. But going up to the top of the plate, can we add like a day and night cycle or a day or night just manual adjustments, cuz we never get to see the upper city in the daylight. I
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure we never get to see it in the daylight during remake. I mean, besides the dawn when you're climbing the platefall area, but like, that would be cool. Yeah, get helpline.
Get help. Get help.
Get help. Like every time like Aerith tells Cloud about like all the things that are she losing a piece of herself with every time they touch me. Get help. Just,
The
or
insensitive Cloud mod.
bullshit. Just
Bullshit.
Cloud, Aerith opening up about her crisis that she's experiencing. Bullshit. And then just Lincoln or Limp Bizkit plays out of. Oh man. But yeah, like being able to see the upper plates in a literal whole new light would be cool. And what else do I got, man? Oh, for outfits, I think this is
Mhm.
possible. I feel like people are going to do this. I don't think it's going to take long. Advent Children outfits for all the characters, being able to see like Barrett in his, that chainmail outfit that he had on, the freaking Clouds outfit, all the outfits from Advent Children, bring them on over. And then you could also be really cool to bring the classic Final Fantasy VII outfits. So Cloud is now in that purplish blue, and then you have you got like Barrett without the shirt underneath. You know what I mean? Like you get Tifa without the leg high or thigh highs and stuff like that. So that'd be kind of cool. I would like to see that. I'd like to see the classic Final Fantasy VII outfits coming in, and then let's feed the meme. Let's feed the meme. Let's put Robert Downey Jr.'s face from Tropic Thunder as Barrett.
Feed the meme.
Feed the meme. You know what I mean? So yeah, that'd be cool.
Vincent Graymore says Cloud and Vincent's outfit would be cool, which reminded me actually of a the like a Turks mod where you can actually use, I would say, probably Rufus's character model, um, and then you would have to, I guess, a modder would have to create their own skin for Vincent, and then you can use Rufus's character model as Vincent because they use similar weapons.
Oh, dude, and they both kind of have like a cape-ish style thing. Oh my god, that'd be
Yeah,
interesting. Like Cloud versus Vincent right there. Like,
yeah.
oh man, that'd be kind of cool. I like that. So yeah, so I think that brings me to the end of like all of the ideas that I had.
Hmm.
What do you think, Vinny? Do you have any more? Chat, you guys have any more you want to talk about?
I'm
Um,
sure I have plenty more.
yeah.
And mods usually just come to me randomly.
Yeah,
So,
right. I'm just like thinking about them, and then just you just want them. I do want to shout out to let me Adventurer Adel, or let me make sure I get the name right. So you can find him on Twitter or her, I don't know, on Twitter. Really on it with the mods. Let me make sure I can find this for you guys. Um, this is the person who had the mod out the night of, and being very consistent with it too on Nexus Mods. It's Adventurer ADOL. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyways, it says that account doesn't exist, so maybe they
hey,
deleted their
Suna's
account.
here.
Anyway, so openff7r.com. You can join the Discord and kind of like keep up with all the mods that they're putting on nexus.com. Suna Mods is here, and Suna, I would love to hear your thoughts on mods for Final Fantasy VII Remake and what you think is possible. Maybe what you're working on right now. Maybe, I don't know. Are you working on Final Fantasy VII Remake mods, Suna? Yes, Suna's in that server. Yes, so you can check out that Discord server if you go to openff7r.com. You can see the Discord server there, and then of course it's openff7r on Discord. I don't know how you join those things, but there it is. Wait, I just kind of opened it up, didn't I? How do I get back to my? There we go. I wanted to get back to my call. There we go. Okay, so I was going to respond to your tweet, but I didn't know you. Yeah. I know it's super short notice. I'm sorry about that. I'm so desperate for the Avalanche hideout. Yes. Can you hear me, modders? Would the Avalanche hideout? Do it.
First Soldier had it.
Samuel, you're absolutely right. Please. Yeah, First Soldier has it. Like, let us go down in the hideout. Yes. I'm 100% on board with that. That would be amazing. Yeah, right. Cloud without gloves is a mod on nexus.com right now. And it looks, it's like
Naked.
yeah, he
Yeah,
looks
he
naked.
does.
It's so weird, man. I remember seeing him in the actual game during the hand massage. I was like, it's so weird to see him without gloves on.
I was like,
Um,
I don't like Cloud without gloves.
First Soldier outfits would be really cool. That would be cool. There's a
Oh
couple
yeah,
like being able to run around. I don't know.
as a
Maybe even they
Cactuar?
could do it as like a Cactuar or Ifrit. Yeah, there's
Or I don't know, a man in a Moogle suit
a
with a
man in the
Holiday
Moogle
Shimmer helmet.
yes, and you can go talk to the Moogle kid.
Right.
Yeah, the
Just
Moogle
looks at you
Emporium.
like,
What?
my lord, you're here.
Yeah.
Like the holiday pumpkin.
Yeah.
I knew you existed.
Man in a Moogle suit versus Sephiroth. Yes, Sephiroth in a Moogle suit. Let's go. Like, let's
That
just
would
keep it
be
going.
that would be what if a man versus a man in a Moogle suit versus Sephiroth is the answer to what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. The immovable object being the man in a Moogle suit.
This is what mods are all about. This is what they're for. You know what I mean? Like to add the just to add funny things to it. And that is what's going to make the remake on PC worth it. The price. Entire model swaps seem doable. They just got to tweak animation stuff, it seems. I've seen somebody swap Jessie with Falna, but her hair was crazy. Yeah. So that does make sense. I was wondering that when Vinny suggested like swapping Wedge with Barrett, I was like, okay, so animation style wise, how does that work? Is it going to look interesting or look weird? So yeah, like, you have any if you have more insight on this, Suna, you're more than welcome to join this call right now. We would love to talk to you a little bit about it. If not, that's okay, understandable. But yeah, I mean, we are just about to wrap up on this topic. We want to talk about some of the things that happened this week, and then close out the show. But if you're ready, I haven't looked into it myself, so I'd be all speculations, but I'd be down to share my thought. Yeah, let's get in here, man. Let's get you in here.